What's happening? How's it going? Sorry, I am late. Um Getting set up here. Give me 1 second. Welcome, welcome. Let me bring this up. Um it's going to be an interesting press conference supposed to start. Is it supposed to start soon? Calm down, Johnny. Calm down, Johnny. Just chill. Um, okay. It said, 3:30. So what? We have like an hour. Oh, that's fun. Um, is that what it is? Is that what it was? So okay, okay. So we got 45. Okay, good enough. So I had this set early, and yeah, I've been here. What's up, Angel? Good to see you. If you were on time, we wouldn't know how to act. Hey, come on. That's not very nice to say. Uh, but it's true. It's not nice to say, but it is true. All right. So, press conference, 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Do space limitations. Okay, so this is just there. So we're 45 minutes away. All right. Well, this is gonna be this is going to be extremely interesting. Um, and I think a lot of us have reserved judgment on what's happening, but the details are not shaping up very well. They're really not. Um, and so it's going to be very, very interesting to see what's all right, Johnny. It's all right, dude. The thing hadn't started yet. What do you want me to do? I'm sorry, it hadn't started yet. Okay. Um, so I mean, what do you guys think is going to happen? Because I'm telling you, if they just come out and say, "Look, we're still investigating this," or we're still, and which I'm sure that they are still investigating this situation. Oh, and Fun Size, thank you so much for donating 5 memberships. It's very sweet. If they just come out and they say, "Hey, look, man, we're just still investigating. We're this and that." If I mean, if they scheduled a press conference this far out, and I'm keeping an eye on the whole on WFLA to see what they're doing. Yeah, this is gonna be very interesting. Here we go. Hold on.
WFLA Now will begin momentarily.
I'm not usually, but I mean, I show up.
On WFLA Now, this is
I show up
JB.
eventually.
Here's
Look, there's our
JB.
boy. What's up, Jay Bizzle?
We
In
are
the
less
house.
than an hour away from answers.
Yeah,
in
so
the
we're an hour
Carlee
away.
Russell mystery. What exactly happened to the 25-year-old Alabama woman who vanished for more than 2 days after she said that she saw a toddler on the side of I-459 in Hoover? Well, Hoover police, they have called an afternoon press conference. A press conference will be streaming live across all platforms here on WFLA Now. Hello, folks. Welcome back into the Stream Center here on WFLA Now. JB here with you live on WFLA.com, the WFLA app, and hello to our YouTube live audience waiting patiently as we get things ready for this afternoon press conference from Hoover PD in central Alabama, where we're expected to get more answers as to what exactly happened with Carlee Russell. This was
Yeah,
an
expected.
urgent search that was conducted by authorities in central Alabama Thursday night into Friday all day into Saturday, when Saturday night, according approximately 49 hours, she returned. Video captured her walking down the street, according to police, and returning on foot to her parents' house, where she had a quick exchange with her parents, and then she was quickly sent over to the hospital where she was treated and then released. But exactly what happened with Carlee Russell when she was missing, whether or not she actually saw a toddler
Is this a reaction? What do you mean?
on the side of the
I don't know what that
interstate,
means. What does that
and
mean?
whether or not she was actually abducted, that all remains unknown. But the public and, of course, the media have been pressing Hoover PD for answers.
It's kind of
And we're
worried.
about an hour away, or less than an hour away, about 45 minutes away now.
You got to leave the
from
cheese
getting
out of it.
perhaps the
No, this is
answers
not
to
a
the questions
reaction.
that
We're just
we
waiting.
are
We're
so
just waiting
desperately
for
asking on
the
social
press
media, because
conference. 2:30 Central Standard Time is the weirdest
Russell's,
way.
I guess that has been trending on Twitter. The
Oh no,
hashtag
no,
Carlee
the
Russell's
conference
been,
will be
just
live.
going
Yes, yes,
all over the place on social
absolutely.
media.
The press
A lot
conference
of
will be
things
live.
are
It's coming
being
up in a
said,
little
but a
over,
reminder to our
little
audience
under
here,
an hour.
we have not gotten
And
a
so
whole
we'll just
lot
be
from
with
police.
you. Well, I'll
And
be
we
here.
understand that the reason
I
we
guess
haven't gotten a whole
JB
lot from police
I don't know what the
since
hell he's
Carlee
doing.
Russell turned up
We'll be here
on Saturday
until
night
it
is because
happens.
there hasn't been a statement provided, a lengthy statement, if you will. Carlee speaking with
And then we'll
the
react
police
to it
department,
afterwards.
providing them with her recollection of what transpired in that 49 hours that she was missing, and so many people were desperately searching for her. We hope to get more, and as to whether or not in the last several hours that statement has been provided, we do not know. Everything is going, of course, building up to this 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central press conference in Hoover, Alabama. We're going to spend the next 40 or so minutes going over your questions, your comments, talking about what we have found out
we can
even
do
in
that,
the last 24 to 48 hours
on
this
own.
story.
All right,
There
so,
we have now
and
the
I am
video,
curious
the traffic
to,
video
I
that
am
we were
curious to
unable
know,
to show you. We're going to hear from Talitha Russell.
what
Talitha
everybody
Russell speaking,
thinks. I mean,
as we
are we going to
present you
get
with
answers?
everything that we know
Are
up
they
until
going to
this
give
point,
definitive
so that
answers
when we
today? Are they
do
going to
get
give
that press conference coming
absolute,
up
you know,
at
hey,
3:30 Eastern,
we're
2:30
looking
Central,
for somebody,
we are
or
prepared with,
is this going to
all the
be a
facts,
brush over?
what we know, and of course what we do not know. So saying hello to our audience. We had some comments come in
and I don't
on
know.
YouTube Live as we were in countdown. People were asking, my goodness, well, JB, why do you have so many screens?
Not good.
What is up with all the monitors? That was one of the questions I saw, with a lot of question marks trailing behind it. And the reason is very simple. The Stream Center here is built and equipped to be able to access camera feeds, news feeds from all around the country. We understand that live streaming and having news in the palm of your hand, news right now, not later on tonight, but news in the immediacy of the moment is obviously so extremely important to our audience. So using the Stream Center, I have a lot of screens here because I look over at this screen and this screen as well to monitor all the
Angel,
different
thank you very
feeds
much
from
for
camera crews really across the country.
gifting
not just at
5
Carlee Russell's
memberships.
store, but we're talking about breaking news developments
very much.
in really
very
any section of the country, any section of the world. So the press conference itself has not actually begun, obviously, but the feed itself has not yet become available. So what will happen is, of course, I will hit the touch screen here when the feed becomes available, and then we are live to share that press conference with you. We have taken precaution to ensure that if there is questionable,
kind of as this has gone on and kind of dragged on,
highest quality press conference,
you start hearing
rumblings
from
here.
The locals. You start hearing rumblings from
FLA Now. So saying hi to Stephanie, saying hi to
people
Wanda,
that are
Dory
like
Bells, Virgil.
Well, we deserve some answers. We were out there looking for
some other very.
We were out there looking for her. We deserve
live. We're going to start to take your hashtag KJB questions and comments.
And
if you haven't been with us on stream before,
I get it.
Here's how this works.
They want
the hashtag on the white stripe underneath my
too,
name down here.
I am glad.
Hashtag HeyJB.
I'm glad that
JB's
got the touch screen
corner of your screen. If you use that hashtag here in the Stream Center, I have the ability to go to this screen here. And I can see comments like this one from VSale.
This is going to be fascinating.
Is there a search ongoing for the possibly endangered toddler? And we'll get into questions like this.
This is going to be absolutely
fascinating. Course, as authorities have been looking or were looking over that 49-hour period for any signs of Carlee Russell, they were also looking for any signs of an endangered toddler. And it has to be stated that at this point in the investigation, there was only one phone call, one report, one 911 call about a toddler on I-459, and that came from Carlee Russell. So it was dark out there. Is it possible that a toddler was walking around and it just so happened that Carlee was at that moment crossing that section of pavement on the interstate?
Probably
and saw
not.
The
Probably
endangered
not.
Toddler and called it doing the right thing. And of course, no one else saw it. Absolutely. But a lot of social media activity exists asking the question, how is it that only
Fun Size says could have been hallucinations if she's self-medicating? Many young people take uppers, i.e. Adderall,
so if you
Ritalin,
use hashtag KJB,
stay awake to study,
your comments,
to keep pushing themselves.
And we're going to start to do so in just a few moments. In the meantime, I just really want to quickly review what's new about this story. What we
hashtag HeyJD, lots
of
nothing.
Couple of days. The big piece of news that has developed over the last couple of days, of course, as people have been waiting and clamoring for updates on this story to find out once and for all what exactly happened to Carlee Russell, is the fact that she, according to police, picked up snacks at Target, but that those snacks were not found in the vehicle. When the vehicle was
now that how he's talking about, well, look,
so what exactly
the snacks are gone.
Of course,
that sounds like it was kind of a pre-planned
surveillance
thing.
video.
Now, I'm just saying,
we haven't seen
everything else is left.
The police of showing
her Apple Watch,
Carlee Russell walking alone.
Anything that could
down the
track
street to
her.
Arrive back at her parents'
She may have
house.
had a different cell phone. I don't know.
Saying that she was conscious and she was speaking when she arrived.
But
and then, of course, the Woodhouse.
If you think about it.
That's Carlee Russell's place of
employment. It's like she was setting up something. That's what it feels like
in their investigation.
And maybe we're wrong.
I do want to
possibly, but
to NBC
the fact
News,
that she stopped for
Priscilla
snacks
Thompson
and none of those snacks were there.
Priscilla has been on the ground there in
crazy
Birmingham. I've been following her reports, and she's doing a great job.
Has the meal gone too?
Spoke
Makes sense.
To the Russell family. And it was a lengthy interview, but I cannot show the entirety of that interview. It's an NBC News exclusive, but of course, WFLA being an NBC station, what we're going to do is we're going to play back a quick portion of that, because there are some pertinent questions being asked by Priscilla Thompson as to exactly what happened when Carlee Russell got home, and also to what she told her parents. And we'll be back in 15 seconds after this little snippet. Again, this is NBC News. Priscilla Thompson speaking to the Russell family.
She was not in a good state, so we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her.
And can you tell me what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself, we can't discuss that.
So the family is remaining tight-lipped, but also in that interview, they say that Carlee Russell was abducted. And that, of course, if we rewind, we go a little bit back in time to Thursday night.
It sounds like JB's not
we were on
buying
stream
it.
together on Saturday. The last time we streamed about this story, we were talking about Carlee Russell and how she was on the phone with 911, how she was on the phone with a family member, and that there was a scream that was heard, and that by the time authorities arrived minutes later, they found her phone, her belonging, her wigs, her Apple Watch in her purse, that her car door was open, that the toddler wasn't there, and that Carlee Russell right there was gone. Her wig was found on the ground, and of course, the picture of her without the wig was widely distributed on social media. People were trying to do everything that they could to help find Carlee Russell. And of course, it has to be stated, nothing is more important than her being back safe and sound. But my biggest question on this, we're about to go to your hashtag HJB questions and comments here. I want to quickly point out, this is my number one question on this story. My biggest question. I have two, but this is my number one.
Do you believe
And that and here it is. If Carlee Russell was abducted, then why hasn't there been a back and forth communication between the Russell family and between police to catch her abductor?
And I agree with that.
If somebody abducted a woman on the side of I-459 at 9:30 at night, if there was an abduction that actually did in fact take place, then where is this urgency to communicate with Carlee Russell, with the Russell family, to find the person responsible for it? Again, the last update that we had from
He's
police,
right up in the camera.
Police had not received a statement from Carlee Russell other than the very brief interaction that police had with Carlee Russell before she was transported to the hospital. To our understanding, there has not been a constant flow of communication. There really hasn't been a primary statement, if you will, a question and answer session between investigators and Carlee since that Thursday night and since Saturday
and so
night.
we talked about this a little bit last night. I do not believe that she has talked to investigators.
Of course, the abduction itself,
which is interesting that they're going to hold a press conference
if an abduction
when
occurred,
investigators haven't even got an official statement from her, or she hasn't told them
that's my
what
second,
happened. Yet the parents
biggest question
go
and look,
on.
There's a lot of questions being asked right now,
NBC
on
or
media,
the Today Show or whatever the hell it was, and I'm
whether or not
curious as to know
Carlee Russell
why she wouldn't be telling
whether or not she did in fact
who her
see
abductor
a child on the side of the road. These are major questions,
and
but
that doesn't make much sense
I can
either.
get at least some context here, some answers.
You would think
from my
that
friend,
if
Jennifer,
there was,
if
she was abducted,
room. Jennifer, hey there, welcome.
How's it going, JB? Thanks for having me.
I don't know.
Good,
I
my
do
friend.
not
How are you
know
you all
if
right?
it was a paid.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Good to have you back on stream. You've been following this story.
Coffin doctor.
I was just asking the two biggest questions of all to me. We're about to get to hashtag HeyJB, and we can now introduce hashtag Hey
Margaret,
Jennifer
thanks for
interactively
being
into
here.
our comment section. I'll start to look for these questions coming in now on YouTube Live, Jennifer.
Thank you very much.
But I want to again bring up the fact: was there an abduction? Where is this urgent search for the abduction suspect? And what happened to the toddler? Was there a toddler?
Well, JB, this, in all seriousness, this is one of these cases where the initial evidence that we can see could point in a few different directions, right? I mean, this could have been a health crisis, mental health crisis. This obviously could be a hoax. And there is some possibility that this actually could have been an abduction. But as we get more and more revelations, I think that percentage of that being the situation is falling off the map.
I think what's really interesting to me is this new nugget of information, Jennifer, about the stop at Target and picking up snacks, but then those snacks weren't found in the vehicle.
Right.
So that, of course, is a very curious tidbit, because what happened to those to the snacks, of course, is a major question right now on social media.
Love the snacks.
And also too, the idea or the theory, people asking a very fair question.
That's the thing too,
is
that I don't
if somebody-
understand.
Is it
You know, the other
possible
day
that
we
she
were
was
we were talking
tailed from the
about
target, that somebody who saw her
were the
and for
meals in the
whatever-
car or
whatever
not, and I
reason
think
that they
people were
had,
saying that
tailed
they
her
weren't.
and,
I don't think that the
and
meals
tried-
were
but
in the
then
car
at the same time,
anymore.
pulling over on the side of the interstate. There's just so many moving parts to this story that it's difficult to add up what exactly happened Thursday night.
Well, and interestingly enough, we have this traffic cam footage, which you think could answer all
That's
the
a great
questions, but it
question. I don't
doesn't,
know.
because there's a hiatus in
The
time.
question is, if it's
There's
a
car
hoax,
seen at
will she
9:04
be
with his blinker
billed
on in the right-hand
for the
lane as if to
search?
go onto the shoulder.
I don't know.
There's
Possibly.
some movement and things that
I
happen.
think something
way
happened at her
before,
job
the scene,
and with her
and we don't
boyfriend, but
really
because
have what
her
happened
job
well
coming out and
after,
giving
the initial
a
pullover.
detailed
It's interesting
statement,
that she pulled over at a
like a
specific mile
3-paragraph
marker,
statement,
although
is
supposedly
one
the
of the
description of where the
craziest
toddler was
I've
further
never
up the
seen that
street.
happen
Again,
before.
no one sees
Everybody
the
else is
toddler
making
but her.
statements.
That's an issue.
But
And of course,
and
we
by the
have
way,
no
the
missing
interview with her
toddler,
parents
that we know about from law
nothing.
enforcement.
The time is now 3
Let
o'clock
me see
Eastern.
here.
Welcome
Matter of fact, we
into
can
the Stream
just
Center here, folks, on
bring it up.
WFLA Now, with retired FBI agent, law enforcement analyst, friend of News Nation and WFLA Now, Jennifer Coffindoffer, joining us here on screen. We're about half an hour away from that Hoover press conference. And I'm keeping my eye. Comments on the left. When I'm looking this way, it's because I'm looking for comments. On the right, it's because I'm looking for.
Let's just hear what they have to say leading up
You
to
all
it.
first laid eyes.
Okay, why is there no sound? That doesn't. Oh, that's dummy, Joshy dummy. All right. Sorry.
Is on her again. That moment you all first laid eyes on her again, what was it like?
To me, I mean, just so much joy.
This morning, in an exclusive sit down with NBC News, the parents of 25-year-old Carlee Russell are speaking out, describing the moment their daughter appeared on their doorstep after being missing for more than 48 hours.
What did you do when you saw her?
We tried to hug her as best we could, but I had to stand back because she was not in a good state. So we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her. But it's
Last Thursday, police say Carlee called 911 to report a toddler walking alone on the interstate. She pulled over while on the phone with a family member who described hearing Carlee scream.
Her vehicle is unlocked, running, all her personal belongings except for her phone.
On the scene, police found no sign of Carlee or a child, and they say no children were reported as missing during that time period. The Russells waited in agony until Saturday night.
there were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know people could be so evil.
Authorities have not indicated where Carlee was during the 48 hours she was missing or what happened. Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them, citing the ongoing investigation.
And can you tell me what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself, we can't discuss that.
But they say speculation about the circumstances surrounding Carlee's disappearance are only making things worse.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
Her family now urging the public to let the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor. Her mother asking to read a brief.
I have a feeling that this specific interview, and maybe I'm wrong about this, is going to come back and bite him in the ass. I don't know if they were paid for this interview. There's been assumptions that they were paid because they skipped over all local media, and really, and I can understand doing national media, and I could understand doing local media, but just skipping over all of them is, I find, kind of weird.
Brief message to the public.
Carlee has given the
And just going right to NBC. Like I said, I don't know if they were paid for one or not.
statement so that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
NBC News has reached out to the Hoover Police Department to ask whether they're looking for an individual involved. Police have just said they're following up on all information provided by Carlee.
And when I talked to you all on Saturday, you
Love
also
Pink, what's
said
up?
your daughter is a fighter and she would find a way back to you.
I felt that in my heart.
Is that what happened?
She did. She found her way back to us. However, we can't discuss the details of that.
But they say one thing is clear.
Do you believe she was fighting for her
Oh,
life?
she definitely fought for her life. There were moments when she physically had to fight for her life, and there were moments when she had to mentally fight for her life.
But she made it back to you.
She made it back.
Yeah, she did make it back. All right, Priscilla, so investigators are obviously busy on this case. What are they looking into going forward?
All right, so
Yeah, Hoda, right now they're analyzing that initial 911 call and also that track.
I think the reason that now, in hindsight, I think the reason that she was driving that way was probably because she was looking for whoever was supposed to pick her up on the other side. That's my assumption. I mean, I am extremely curious as to what the Hoover Police Department is going to say, especially since she hasn't really given a complete statement or anything like that. I find that odd.
Or, work, boots on the ground looking for a missing toddler. If that was in fact what she saw, then who is that toddler? Who is responsible for that toddler, and what are they doing on the side of the interstate, Jennifer?
Well,
It's great.
well, JB, let me first address what your point was, which was so excellent and exactly how I feel. I thought it was so interesting that everyone was so concerned. Money poured out, people poured out, social media blew up because everyone wanted Carlee found safe. And then I thought it was very interesting 2 days later when all the prayers were answered, that everybody was so quick to accuse. And I really hated seeing that, because at the end of the day, as you just said, we're not looking for her and we didn't find her deceased. To me, that's a great day. And anything, if there is a hoax found, that's a separate issue. But the main thing is this woman is alive and well. So I'm so grateful for that. As far as the child, let me just even teeter off of that a little bit more. How about the fact that if we have somebody who could abduct Carlee, they could abduct anyone. So why aren't we seeing?
And what we're doing, we're
Bolo?
just
why
waiting.
aren't we seeing?
We're waiting for the
police
press conference
asking
here
for
coming up
community
at
help in terms of identifying the person that
about
would
20
have been
minutes away.
described? Why aren't we
Like I
notifying
said, should be very,
as
very
a safety
interesting.
consideration? So all of that put together is leading me, of course, to what is leading, the belief of many people, I think, and that is there was no abductor.
Well, I guess I'll just say this, as a newscaster, I'm so used to, at this stage in a story like this, to be talking about, all right, police are looking for a suspect, so-and-so height, so-and-so weight. Here's a possible thing, what they could be wearing, or this is a possible vehicle that they could be driving. We have nothing, absolutely nothing to go by based on a potential abduction taking place. And that it's not 24 hours after Carlee was found. We're talking about, we're now 4 days later. She turned up Saturday night at her parents' house, and here we are. It's Wednesday.
No
and we
suspect.
still don't
Nothing.
know whether or not an abduction took
Nothing.
place.
And I think the
because
reason that
it's
they
all
have,
building up
and
to
this is
press
a
conference that begins in about
Karma
20
is a
minutes from now.
biatch
We're
says,
close to getting our
hi,
feed here
I'm
calibrated to where
Karma.
we can bring it in
They have
here for you in
nothing.
the stream center. But yeah, I mean, let's go to Mary's
I don't know
question.
why I read it. I don't know why. I don't know why I
If
read it
she
that
had
way. I'm
seen
sorry.
a child,
Just
why didn't she stop
I like
right
saying
away?
I like
She
the
drove along
exaggerated
the shoulder
E.
for a long time, and this is that traffic video where
Stupid.
move along that shoulder for a
I felt
long
like
period of
too
time.
short when I said that.
That is
What's
a
my
bit of a
favorite
curious
word?
observation. Is it not, Jennifer?
Well, in a way, but when you look at the totality of everything, remember, she left the restaurant where she picked up that food, and it was
Yeah,
only
Karen,
about,
I don't think
I
it's
think,
gonna.
15 or so
Karen
minute
says
drive to
this is
where
not going to turn out
her car
nicely
was
for
left.
her and her
And so
family.
there is this
And
gap in
and
time
I do
because
really
it's a longer
the
time than
fact
that. A
that
lot of
if
people
this is a
believe
hoax, and
that
if this
she
is,
was indeed abducted,
when I
and if
say a
she
hoax,
indeed
if
saw
she
a
was
toddler,
trying to
that maybe
deceive
she saw the toddler
people,
was
and I
going
don't know if she
65 miles
was
an hour,
or
75 miles
wasn't.
an hour, like people
I
do on
feel
the highway.
bad
You
for her
can't just
folks
stop, circle
because they're
back
put in a
around,
really bad
and then
position.
proceeded on that
Like I said
shoulder,
yesterday
slowly
when we
looking for them.
listened
So
to this
that
interview,
is
that it
at least
was
out there in
not.
terms of a possibility.
Yeah,
I didn't think that their
there's the
interview
video that we're
yesterday
talking about
was a
with
good
the
idea.
red circle
Why they
there on
did it,
her
I
vehicle.
don't know.
Authorities would show up
Why
minute.
they felt it necessary, maybe, like I
Carlee
said,
was
maybe they were
gone.
going on the
Her
offensive,
phone, her wig, her belongings, all left
because
there.
they knew that
And
this press
it's
conference was
look,
coming the
folks,
next
it is
day.
peculiar to leave your phone behind. If something
It's
did, in
hard to
fact,
say anything about parents
if there was a
when
conscious
their
reason to leave that
child
area, to walk away from that area,
returns like
leaving
this,
your phone,
and
that your phone,
they're saying,
is
look,
everything,
she
Jennifer.
was
So the
in a bad
the idea that
way.
her
We had to
phone
take her to
was
the
left behind, her
hospital.
Apple
She
Watch
fought her
was
way
left
back.
behind, but then the snacks weren't there. There's
But
just
yeah,
this
I think
is
it's
just
damage
a
control
very
too.
sort of puzzling set of circumstances surrounding the discovery of the vehicle, the fact that the toddler wasn't there, that we heard the scream. Where exactly did that come from? And again, that she was on the phone, that she did the right thing as far as being a good Samaritan, calling 911, alerting authorities to the fact that she
Betsy
saw a
Leak
toddler on the
says,
side of I-459.
I'm still
It's
leaning
just,
toward
there's so
a
many
mental break
puzzling
of some
and
sort,
potentially
completely
conflicting
possible.
pieces of this story that just.
But it sounds like there were
commenter
things in
earlier who
motion.
said there's just something that isn't right about this story. It's because I think a lot of people feel the same way. Just we're missing something here.
Well, and I do want to offer a possibility, right? It's been discussed. We talk about a possible mental health break, and I'm not trying to put that on her. I'm just trying to say that let's have that discussion because it's out there. It's being discussed. It's a possibility. And I have two extremely close friends. One that I've known for over 30 years, another one who actually is a part of the family. And they suffer from The Beautiful Mind. If you know, the movie some of you have seen. And that movie, JB, is a true story. And it's truly where they use a different part of their mind and things that aren't real become real.
The hell is she
So in
talking
other
about?
words, could she in her mind, if this was this situation, thought she was told by the abductors, leave your phone, leave your Apple Watch, whatever, we're taking the food. You're coming with us. I don't know.
I mean,
I know this seems so far-fetched for many,
we're
but
reaching here.
I literally
knocking.
know somebody, one of these people I'm naming,
what was
an ER
that?
doc,
I don't know what the hell
very
you're
well
talking
educated, an amazing individual who lost, had a break due to not taking his medication, ended up in Australia, homeless, thinking that the Chinese government was chasing him down and had to be, literally thought that. I have a 26-page letter from him, begging for the FBI's help. So I'm just saying things like this do happen. The Elkins case, we know about the Elkins case. He's a missing person to date who is still suffering, feeling like somebody's chasing him. I'm not saying that happened here, but it has to be a conversation.
Yeah, no, it does. And we talk, Jennifer, we talk about mental health on stream all the time. And if something did in fact happen, it has to be stated again, being responsible here, that was something that was always on my mind over the course of this story. how many times, look, there's a lot of times in the news where you hear about, where in our newsroom, we hear about somebody that is experiencing, something related to mental health, but it's not necessarily, it doesn't become a national news story like this. It happens all the time, people. Mental health needs to be talked about more on channels just like this. And I'm glad that Jennifer introduces that into the conversation, but it has to be stated here, being responsible as well. We haven't heard anything about any past with Carlee Russell having anything in regards to mental illness or having or struggling with her own mental health. So if something happened more recently or very suddenly in regards to her mental health, that could be the part of the story that we're just completely unfamiliar with here, that we just don't know about at this stage. But I have to state that there hasn't been, police didn't put out an alert, or the family in their interviews nobody's ever stated that she has previously suffered from any mental health issues. So that would be either something that we haven't known up until this point, or is something that has suddenly come about in the last week or so. And so that is very much a possibility here, that whether or not she thought that she saw something. But look, we don't know. Based on all accounts, Carlee Russell was and continues to be.
I mean, if this was her first,
is admired, and somebody who left a good impression on a local police.
If this was her
first
first
as well,
like,
recently, that was also part of the story as well. So
issue, like
exactly,
this could have been the first time that
exactly.
this has
I
happened.
just hope that she's okay. I'll say
Why,
that again. I just hope
why
that,
everyone
from
slam
a
FBI
physical
lady?
standpoint,
She was just,
from a
I don't
mental
know. She was
standpoint,
just
an
trying to
emotional
make a
standpoint, I just hope
comparison where
that Carlee Russell is doing okay.
just
But the
seems
public wants to
a
know
little
exactly
off,
what
but
happened to
that's
her, and wants to know if an abductor or if a
Two
toddler
planned. I mean,
is
snacks. Yeah, the
out
snacks were
there.
a big thing. The snacks
JB,
were
I
a
also
really,
wanted to bring up something.
when the snack thing was revealed,
Interface with law enforcement and them publicly stating how positive that was. Not that she came down to the station, but they had interaction with her.
Yeah.
I had posted a tweet about that,
Yeah.
JB, very, very early on. And today I went back to pull that up because I wanted to reread it. It's gone.
Oh, interesting. So
law enforcement, it's not on their website anymore, on their Facebook page.
Oh, so are you saying that they withdrew that statement?
I'm saying it's not there. When I went back on and I followed that link, it said it had been removed.
Only
or
13
whatever that
more
the
minutes.
Facebook terminology is. You might look, since you're there with your
13
computer,
more minutes.
but I went onto my Twitter, which had the link to their statement, which had been on for several days, and just in preparation for all the reporting today on this case, I wanted to relook at that statement.
Look,
And
I mean,
it was
honestly,
gone.
the
link
fact is,
did not link anymore.
I'm
So you
alerting.
might
the
take a
fact
double check
is
on
that she went to
I'm
Target
telling
before,
our
bought
team,
some
out in the
snackaroos.
newsroom, which is located that way, just telling them to look at. I'm
She
keeping
left
my eyes
the,
peeled right now.
I'm not saying
Jennifer,
she, but the
to look
phone
out
was
for the
left
actual
in the
press conference, 'cause
car.
we're getting close. We're about 15 or so
The
minutes away,
watch, the
but I let our
AirPods,
team
the
know
car's
to be
left
on the lookout
running,
for,
which is insane.
exactly,
if that's really,
what you're
if
talking
that's what
about.
she
Folks,
did.
we're gonna reset our stream. In a few
Why
minutes
her
to,
wig's gone, but
also launch on
somehow the
Facebook
snacks.
Live.
And
If
if
you're joining us
those,
on
what if there were
WFLA.com, the WFLA app,
I
YouTube
think
Live,
that there
you
were
don't have to go anywhere.
Cheez-Its
We're gonna have the
that
press
she
conference
bought
in
those
about,
Cheez-Its
12
and
to
that she
13 minutes
said
from now.
that
Shot is going to be coming in here
that
shortly.
she said
But
something
let's
about
get
her.
to some comments here.
From what I heard, a rumor that she was saying that her nails got painted by her captor and that they fed her Cheez-Its.
Madri says, was her Apple Watch able to be tracked?
Yeah, to her purse.
That's very interesting. So Apple Watches sometimes have tracking turned on, just like any device. Sometimes the Apple Watch will have tracking turned on, sometimes it won't. They have GPS and cellular technology, many of the newer models, but we don't know whether or not there was tracking activated, right, Jennifer, on our actual Apple Watch, and that Apple Watch was found in the vehicle.
Well, that's the problem, right? They're going to know, and they've already stated her steps that she took, what she did pre-announcement, pre-911, pre-abduction. But because the Apple Watch was left, I believe, in her purse inside the car, it's not helping.
Yeah, I can't.
Just
Well,
like the phone was
look,
left
one
on
of the
side
text
the road.
messages
It
that I
doesn't
saw, and I
help
don't
with
know
what
if it's
happened over
fake
that
or not,
48 hours.
but one of the
And
text
course, the
messages
thought
that I saw
process
was
is,
like, "Hey,
JB,
we're gonna
was that
fake
purposeful?
this whole thing,"
Did she take that Apple
and
Watch?
you're going, "Oh my
and
God!"
I remember in the footage I saw, before anything
what a
happened.
weird.
I saw her with the
I
Apple
mean, how are
Watch
you going to
on,
get away with this?
you know, in other words, in photos.
Mhm.
So it seems that she had her watch on, at least in the photos that I viewed.
Right.
But she put it in the car, doesn't have the phone. So no, she wasn't able to be tracked, back to the question.
And you can't track somebody through snacks. I'm telling you that people were asking me so much. They were like, Josh, why do you care so much about, because I kept saying, were the meals there or not? And I was kind of making light of it, but obviously, like, you know, you're gonna need some supplies when you're on
By
the
the way, your
move.
viewers always have great questions.
Right. Yeah, no, we have our audience here that they know, they know
most
how
of
to
them
ask
are
good
good.
questions, and they know that I try to bring up just good questions out of our comment section, and also ones that carry the conversation forward, even just not even just questions, but comments like from Lori B. Hashtag, hey, Jennifer, sharing some love for you, Jennifer. What are the legal repercussions if it turns out she made false reports and staged everything? And I want to make it clear there is no evidence at this time that that there was some, you know, hoax, if you will. But this is a question that people are asking right now on social media, Jennifer.
Yeah. So hypothetically speaking, if she did stage this, if it was a hoax, she'd be looking at two different possible charges, or both, false statements and false reporting. Now, in other words, false statements that would have been made on that 911 call, and false reporting, anything to do with a report. So it's the same set of facts, but one is a misdemeanor and one is actually can be up to a felony in Alabama. I actually reviewed the case law and the law on this just in preparation for these interviews, because every state is different. Some are felonious, some are only misdemeanors. So she could be facing those charges that could lead possibly to a felony.
Let's go to really quickly, folks. We'll come into the Stream Center here and show you what just came into the Stream Center. Lori, thanks a lot for your comment. We're going to put your comment away here for just a moment, and we're going to tap the touchscreen and take you here to Hoover, Alabama. The shot is up, and so this is where the press conference will be taking place in less than 10 minutes from now. Jennifer, how long? You're sticking around with us for another 10 minutes or so, right?
Yes, 10 minutes.
Okay, great. So what we're going to do here, folks, is we're going to quickly reset to go live across all platforms here on WFLA Now. We're going to be launching on YouTube, or excuse me, Facebook. We're already live on YouTube. We're going to be launching on Facebook Live, TikTok Live, and a couple of other places as well. Stand by, back in 60 seconds.
WFLA Now will begin momentarily.
So we're just moments away from what we've all been waiting for a few days. He hit the touch screen like it was. He's like, I'm gonna hit let me hit that touch screen real quick. Yeah, this. Yeah, I'm pretty into mine as well. I'm a little concerned that may be the case. I'm a little concerned that they will not have a lot to share with us, or that they will want to share with us, and that's going to be pretty upsetting for a lot of people. No, they're not cheap at all.
Breaking news on WFLA Now. Here's JB Buno.
The Carlee Russell mystery. We are closer to answers. What exactly happened to the 25-year-old Alabama woman who vanished for more than 2 days after she said that she saw a toddler on the side of I-459 in Hoover, Alabama? Well, Hoover police, they have called a press conference. We're here live in the Stream Center, and we're going to show you here in the Stream Center the feed that just came up, folks. We're going to go live to Hoover, Alabama to show you the podium here. This press conference will be starting momentarily at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central. So if you have found us here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, TikTok Live, WFLA.com, or the WFLA app, you have come to the right place. We're going to be here live really up until that press conference begins, again, with the Hoover Police Department. Let's bring in our guest expert joining us here on stream, FBI, retired FBI agent, current News Nation law enforcement analyst, Jennifer Coffindoffer, joining us here on stream. Jennifer, what are you expecting that we learn in this press conference that starts in just a few minutes from now?
Great question. We're going to learn one way or the other what happened. We are going to learn whether this is a hoax, whether it was some sort of mental crisis, or whether indeed there is somebody out there that abducted her, and they're going to put the community on notice that, listen, there's somebody out there and we need your help, and be safe.
Is there any...
When are those going to happen?
Right. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Is there any... Okay, so the potential scenarios here, we're going to learn about an abduction. We're going to learn about a, maybe perhaps some sort of mental health episode that occurred. We're going to learn about something that was very deliberate, or we're going to... Or is there any chance that police come up here to the podium and say that the investigation is ongoing and we just called this press conference just to basically meet the demands of the media?
I don't think so. They've had long enough, JB. They've had long enough to decipher everything that happened on that video before and after. They're going to have ring cam footage. They're going to have video from her entering the neighborhood and going up to her parents' door. They've interviewed, we know it's been made public, the individuals at her workplace. They're going to have looked at the digital forensics from her phone, from the computer at her work. They already know, I believe, what happened, and we're going to hear about it.
Do you think that they have finally spoken to Carlee? Jennifer, you have me? Oh, I think we might have lost you. Oh, we might have lost you. Auto mute might have happened. Oh, hold on. We'll try to get you back, Jennifer. Again, Jennifer Coffindoffer joining us. Can everybody give me a quick audio check, thumbs up on stream? Or did we completely lose audio? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Because oh yeah, no, I got you now. Hopefully our audience can hear. Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
Welcome to the world of live streaming, folks, where sometimes just for no reason at all, you just have audio problems. Jennifer, I don't know if you heard the question, but again, we're talking about the chances that we're going to learn something significant here in the next few minutes.
Yes, I think we are. Again, I think we're going to have some direction from law enforcement as to whether this is an abduction or whether it's not. And I think they're going to provide detail. And the reason they're going to be able to is they've had plenty of time to conduct their investigation and make a conclusion.
Yeah. And again, there's really two scenarios here, folks, that are present, at least on my mind. Scenario one, an abduction took place, and there needs to be obviously a search, a manhunt, if you will, for whoever is responsible for that abduction. Or scenario two, where there wasn't an abduction, and people are going to want to know exactly what happened on the side of I-459, and why did Carlee Russell vanish in those moments between the 911 call that she placed when she claimed to see a toddler, and between, of course, law enforcement arriving there on scene. I'll do my very best to answer as many questions and comments using hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyJennifer. As I look over here, I'm looking at the scrolling comment section, looking for those comments as we have just a couple of minutes. Jennifer, really quickly, put on your reporter hat for a minute. Let's say you're a reporter in the room. Oh, we lost you again. Oh, we might have lost you again. You got me, Jennifer? Okay, you got me now? Yeah, I feel like the Verizon guy. Can you hear me now? I haven't seen that. Whatever happened to the Verizon on News Nation? You might see her on some other channels as well. Let's go to the comment section here. And people are asked, like Steve on Facebook Live, do you think it's a hoax or do you think it was an abduction? Look, we're going to find out from law enforcement. There's no point now and first of all, my opinion, I'm just here as a reporter to help present everybody with fact and also talk about what we know versus what we don't know.
Stud.
And at this stage in the story, police have not yet commented on there definitively being an abduction that took place. The law enforcement releases since Carlee turned up on Saturday night have been mostly vague. With
So we should be starting the press conference should be starting
is because
any moment now.
Significant missing puzzle piece here. When you have a situation like this, when a missing person advisory is canceled, one of the very first things, or one of the most important things that will get conducted, is that whoever's usually the lead investigator, one of the lead investigators on the case, will sit down with the person.
What's up,
and say, what
Trev?
happened? Tell us, walk us through chronologically, step by step, what happened. And we'll ask, there will be a formal interview process. To our understanding, up until this point, according to police, they have not interacted with Carlee Russell since she turned up and gave an initial statement on Saturday night before she had to go to the hospital there, UAB hospital, for treatment. She's been released since, but she has still not had interaction or that formal interview with law enforcement, at least based on the most recent communications that we have from the Hoover Police Department. If something has changed, we're about to find out about it. But what we've got to do now, folks, because the time is now officially 3:30 Eastern, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to bring up audio here. I have to stop taking questions and comments. What we are going to do is we're going to stay here with you live after the press conference to, go through exactly what we've learned, and also to what we haven't found out and what remaining questions still persist. So after the press conference is done, don't go anywhere. Let's bring up audio here for the first time.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check. Everybody give me a thumbs up. I just want to make sure we're good. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. We're in the city of Hoover, Alabama. 1 2 3.
All right.
Right at 2:30 now.
Always appreciate a good
Central
mic check.
Daylight Time. Everybody good? Everybody good? Mic check 1 2. Mic check. We're getting very close. Mic check 1 2. Mic check. You're good, Mike? Mic check.
You
You're
see
good?
her saying that we're getting close. There's
Everybody's good?
a lot of
You're good, sir?
anticipation
In the
for this
great?
because so many days have passed since Carlee Russell turned up. People want to know what happened. Again, one of the big reasons why people really were
Mic
so
check,
honed
1
in on
2.
this story.
Mic check 1 2.
I'm just going to mute for a second. One of the reasons that people were so honed in on this story was because it was a missing person. It was a call to action. People just wanted to help find Carlee Russell safe and sound, but a good Samaritan as well.
Official 2-minute warning from right now. Okay, 2 minutes.
So that's the official 2-minute warning from Hoover Police.
2 minutes.
It's a woman who called 911, says that she was doing the right thing by reporting a toddler on the side of the road, pulling over on the side of the interstate, getting out of her vehicle, checking on the toddler when a friend on the other end of the call heard a scream, and Carlee Russell vanished. There's been endless speculation since then, but I think it would be helpful to everybody to put away for the next few minutes over the course of this press conference, put away all the speculation for a moment, because this is now an official police update that we are getting from Hoover, Alabama, where we're going to finally learn some answers as to what exactly happened to Carlee Russell in the 49 minutes that she was missing, the 49 hours, apologies, Freudian slip, 49 hours that she was missing, and what exactly went on during those 49 hours. And also, too, was there an abduction? Is there a toddler out there that we need to be searching for? What is actually the truth of what happened Thursday night into Saturday night? We're about to find out here. We're going to go full screen, folks. After this press conference is over, we're going to be taking your hashtag KJB questions and comments across all platforms, and also trying to figure out the sense of what we have learned and separating fact from fiction. The very latest on this story on WFLA.com. We're now live across all platforms here on WFLA Now.
All right, so we're just waiting for it to start here. Here we go.
All right, good afternoon and welcome to the Frank and Pam Bearfield Training Center. I'm Captain Keith Sescaleba, that's spelled Keithczeskleba. Joining me at the podium today will be Hoover Mayor Frank Brocato, spelled Brocato, and Hoover Police Chief Nick Derzis, spelled Derzis. You may also hear from Lieutenant Daniel Lowe, spelled Lowe, of the Hoover Police Investigations Division. Mayor Mercado will make a brief opening statement, and then Chief Derzis will read a prepared statement. After Chief's statement is complete, there will be an opportunity to ask a few questions regarding this investigation. Keep in mind that this is still an ongoing investigation, so there may be some questions that we cannot answer. With that, I will turn it over to Mayor Mercado.
Thank you and good afternoon for you all coming today. You know, 6 days ago, our community learned about the disappearance of Carlee Russell, and it sent fear and pandemonium not just through our city, but the entire state and the nation as well. The media quickly joined us to get the word out about Carlee. Our community sprung into action, and they organized search parties, arranged prayer vigils, and they took other steps that I'm not even aware of to help in this situation. The Hoover Police Department quickly rallied multiple partner agencies, stopping at nothing to find Carlee. I'd like to take this time to say thank you first to the Hoover Police Department, our partner agencies, our wonderful community, and to all those that aided in some way in connection with this situation. As the days have gone on and more information has been shared, we know everyone has questions. The Hoover Police Department is known for being very methodical and thorough with their investigations. For that reason, we did not feel comfortable speaking in detail publicly until now. It is important that we share this information now so that our community can be put at ease. So at this time, I'll turn the microphone over to Hoover Police Chief Nick Derzis. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank everyone for being here today. Besides me stands the team who played a significant role in this investigation. I want to thank our department, members of surrounding local law enforcement agencies, the FBI, Secret Service, United States Marshals, and ALEA for their assistance in this case. We said from the evening of July 13th, our focus would be the safe return of Carlee Russell. That occurred on Saturday, July 15th, approximately 49 hours after she called 911 and disappeared. From that point, our focus has been to determine Carlee's whereabouts during that time and what exactly took place. Let me say up front, this investigation is not over. We're still working this case, and we'll work in this case until we uncover every piece of evidence that helps us account for the 49 hours that Carlee Russell was missing. However, through the public interest, and in some cases, public fear that this story has generated, we owe it to our citizens to tell them the facts that we have uncovered. So I will give you the facts that we know today. On July 13th, at approximately 8:20 p.m., Carlee left work from a business at the Summit. Surveillance video from her place of employment shows Carlee concealed a dark-colored bathrobe, a roll of toilet paper, and other items belonging to the business prior to her departure. She ordered food from Tzatziki's at the Colonnade and traveled there. She then traveled to Target on 280, where she purchased some granola bars and Cheez-Its. From there, she remained in the parking lot at that shopping center until 9:21 p.m. when she drove to I-459. Carlee communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. And at this time, we will play the 911 call in its entirety.
I knew she bought the Cheez-Its. I knew she bought Cheez-Its. I knew it.
Hi, I am on Interstate 459, and there's just a kid just walking by themselves. Oh, hold on. Where am I supposed to are you? I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Silver Med, like to get off by the Silver Med. Okay, so you're before the exit? Yes. Okay, were you headed southbound or northbound? Okay, towards Tuscaloosa or towards 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound? They're walking towards Tuscaloosa. Walking southbound. Or how old do they look? Like a toddler, like maybe like 3 or 4. Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them? Yes. Okay, are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though. Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there? Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz. Is it a sedan or SUV? SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. Sorry. Can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, they're on. Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian? They're white. Okay. Is it male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. White male? Okay. So is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing? It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper. And you don't see any cars anywhere? No, no cars anywhere. Okay. All right. What's your name? My name is Carlee Russell. And you don't see any injuries on the child from where you're at, correct? No, but I can't really see them that good. Okay, try to keep an eye on them for the best that you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them. Okay. All right, and do they have shoes on? No, not that I can see. I can't really see that one. Okay. All right, I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but officers are on the way, okay? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay,
Carlee called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained, which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call and cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. Carlee's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and the Hoover Police Department did not locate any evidence of a small child walking down the interstate. Data from Carlee's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight, 600 yards. The Hoover 911 Center received a second call from Carlee's mother stating that a relative was on the phone with her when they heard Carlee scream, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly. They located Carlee's wig and cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for Tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the scene. Hoover police deployed all available assets from the point in the search for Carlee. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounding local and federal agencies assisted Hoover police in the search for Carlee Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of Carlee, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by her family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could to find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Center receives a call from Carlee's residence stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carlee walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded but was not tied up because the captors said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock. Out of respect for Carlee and her family, detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest. Detectives continue analyzing data from Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to their disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" was searched.
Wow.
On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched.
Wow.
On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th.
Wow.
On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were two searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but have not been granted that request.
Wow.
As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
With that, we'll open the floor for some questions. Please raise your hand and I will call on you. Carol.
Chief, do you expect any charges against Carlee Russell in connection with the disappearance and in connection with what was taken from the Woodhouse stop?
Right now, our focus is to determine those 49 hours, so the investigation continues. So to be perfectly honest with you, that hasn't even entered our mind or been discussed.
One more question. Is it surprising to you that the family has not been cooperative in returning to be questioned?
Well, I think the family has stated to us that they didn't think that in her mental state right now because of trauma of the incident, that she's not ready to talk, is what we've been told.
Go ahead, sir. Yeah, question for Chief. You stated that the abductor had orange hair. Was this abductor black male? Was it female? Black female? White female?
I believe it's a white male. Am I correct by saying that? Was it ever? Yeah, white male.
Is this alleged abductor yet on loose in the Hoover area?
Don't believe so.
Yes, ma'am.
Chief Brittany Deal, WBRC, has a toxicology report been done, and were any drugs or illegal substances found in her system?
We have no report of that.
Is any indication of mental illness in this case?
Not that I'm aware of.
There's been a concern in the community that if this turned out not to be a true story, that the next time a young woman of color was missing, that it might not be taken seriously. How would you respond to that?
I'd respond to say that we investigate every crime to the fullest, just like we have this one.
Was she traveling with anyone? Excuse me. Was she traveling with anyone since the time she disappeared, to your knowledge?
And not to my knowledge.
Chief, I know you said you weren't able to verify a lot of aspects of the story. Where do you think she went, and how would you characterize what happened to her?
You know, that's the $100 question. You know, we pretty much know exactly what took place from the time she left work until she got on the 911 call, and we can see getting out of the car on the interstate from that footage. And after that, I think she only knows. We don't know.
Well, one quick follow-up. Her parents. Did you speak with Carlee's parents? And why do you think it is they were so adamant that there was an abductor?
Yeah, I think parents are believing what their daughter's saying, and we've had a very good rapport with the parents, met with them on several occasions. I've talked to them today a few times, and to make them understand that we're under pressure from our community, not only in our community of the state, but nationally when the story hit. And I just wanted them to understand that today we were going to have a press conference, and what we were going to detail today are facts. And everything that I've told you today is actual facts. It's not innuendos. It's not what I think. It's not what these detectives think. It is the factual information that we have. Well, I think our detectives have talked to the parents, and we're ready. We're ready to talk as soon as she's ready. So, you know, she called right now. We're ready. Ooh, how about unknown? You know, we know the facts that we have. Everything else is unknown at this time.
What have the past few days been like for you, your department? This has been a stressful search.
Well, absolutely. And again, the focus of the investigation that Thursday when she went missing, of course, the focus was to get Carlee home. That's what we want all. We wanted her safe and sound. And that's all happened. And then, of course, this has gotten to be not only a local state story, but a national story. So, you know, it is. It's a lot of stress on everyone in the Hoover Police Department, and the mayor, to every citizen here. We want to know the truth.
As you stand here, are you frustrated?
I wouldn't say I'm frustrated. I mean, I'm very happy that Carlee's home. That was the main ingredient here. And then we'll figure it out. I promise you that. We'll end up figuring it out.
Any idea about the number of manpower hours or the expense of the drones and all the rest of the searches that might cost the city and state and federal government?
Yeah, we haven't had time to consider that, but it's you know, again, these detectives that are here, this is just a small group of people that have been associated with this case. We have put every available resource that we have on this case because we wanted to make sure that we found out everything. We wanted to get her home, and we have.
Chief, was there any prior indication of mental health problems?
Not that I'm aware of.
Can you just expand on the people from the state, federal resources brought in? What were they doing exactly as you all were searching for? Can you just expand on that?
Sure. A lot of the from the FBI side, several agents helping us interview. I mean, as you well know, in a case like this, especially when it goes national, we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calls. And when you get those calls, some of them may just be outlandish, but you've got to follow up on them because you never know that you may get that one tidbit. And I'd also say too that we had a great cooperation with the family. The family received hundreds and hundreds of tips, and every time they got a tip, they sent it to us. No, we have not determined that. No.
Keith Mims, WAGG 610 Summit Media. Question for Chief. With all of the searches that you mentioned, Chief, that were on Carlee's phone, does that kind of give you an indication of her mind state during this ordeal? 48 hours
Yeah.
that she went missing?
Well, again, we want to talk in facts, and I do think it's highly unusual to the day that someone gets kidnapped, that 7 hours, 8 hours before that they're searching the internet, Googling the movie Taken about an abduction. I find that very very strange. Yes.
Do you feel confident, do your investigators feel confident that you know why Carlee Russell may have done this?
No, we do not know. Absolutely not.
Chief, can you explain for us, you mentioned that while I believe you said Carlee was on the front line of one, she was traveling 6 football fields, which tells you what?
Which tells me that I've had kids, and I'm sure a lot of people here have, and it's very, very, again, she said it, and I'm not saying it couldn't happen because I've always been one of these guys, never say never, but 6 football fields. I like athletics, I like football. 6 football fields. To think that a toddler, barefoot, that could be 3 or 4 years old, is going to travel 6 football fields without getting in the roadway, without crying, without any just moving down. It's just very hard for me to understand.
Chief, have you used any technology to enhance that video from 459? And did you see a man grab her?
We did not see, from what we can tell, we don't see anybody on the interstate other than her car and then someone getting out of her,
She should have to pay it all.
driver's side. We have sent that off to the FBI for
Pay it all
enhancement.
back.
It has not been returned.
Do you think in this case that charges
E.T. was tracked by snacks. That's true. That movie used to terrify me.
Well, again, that's not something that we've been discussed since we're going through the still investigation. But people have to understand that when someone says something like this,
Chief of
we
police,
put every
Hoover
available
Police
resource.
Department.
Everybody comes together from, like I say, state, local, federal. It's just a lot of work, and gentleman early said frustrated. I mean, it is a little frustrating to think that all this has been done and we can't find anything out.
Did anyone see her calling in from the side of the road when she made that 911 call?
No, not to my knowledge.
All right, last question here. Is this investigation held up until you can speak once again, Carlee Russell?
Well, there's a few things that we're still doing, but obviously we want to talk to Carlee as soon as we can and do an in-depth interview. And at that time, I think we'll have these investigators doing some other things. So
Thank you, Patty.
Questions we're going to answer today. We appreciate you guys coming, and we'll be following up with y'all later. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Chief.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Breaking news on WFLA
Okay,
Now.
well, so
Here's JV Buno.
Carlee Russell.
There it
claims
is.
She was abducted.
There's
by
your
a
press
man who
conference,
emerged out of the woods along
in my
I-459
opinion, what
Thursday
he
night,
was
but
doing there is he
missing
is
items,
kind of
a
forcing
troubling
her
Google
hand
search history,
to speak. That's
and a
what
lack
the purpose of this
second
press conference
interview with law
was about.
enforcement. Leave
And it was
investigators and the
also
public with doubts as
to
whether
let
or
people
not
know that they do not
her
feel that
story
there
is
is
true.
any sort
Hello there, folks. JV here with you
of
live on
threat
WFLA Now
to the
across all
public.
platforms as we try to process
And,
so much of what
which
we have
is
learned, but also so little as to
interesting,
what
but
exactly
yeah,
happened Thursday
the
night.
ball is now in
when
her
Carlee
court.
Russell
If she's
vanished,
not going to speak,
alongside
that's what he did.
I-459,
He said,
calling
"Here you
911,
go,
claiming to see
Carlee.
a
Here's
white
the
boy
facts.
clothed walking along the
Now
interstate before
make
a
some
man
sense
emerged
of
out
this
the
for us,
woods,
please.
abducted her, took her back to an
If you're not going to
18-wheeler,
talk,
followed by
we're going to have to tell what we
a
know."
second recapturing,
And
all leading up to
it
her
is
turning up on
obviously
foot,
looking more and
Saturday
more
night
and more
at her
like
home in Hoover,
that this was
Alabama.
all a lie.
Tremendous amounts of questions in our comment section. We're going to do our very best to go through them, and we're going to try, of course,
strange,
to stay as
you know. And but we all knew that it was strange from the get-go.
So many people have been commenting at me over the course of this live stream.
Oh, is he
sharing
still?
with
Is he
me that They do
talking?
not believe that Carlee Russell has been telling the truth as far.
Sorry, I gotta pause it. My bad. I'm really sorry. I thought, but anyway, that's what this press conference to me was all about. It was nothing more than to say, hey, this is what we know. She's not talking to us, and we haven't been granted. And they putting her in a corner. I mean, that's what this is. They put her in a corner, rightfully so. And it's her it's all on her now. The pressure now is going to be at a fever pitch for Carlee to speak to investigators, because now it is becoming more and more apparent that this was never true. This was never the case. And yeah, I mean, it's just good to see you, Miss Kirby. Thanks, Josh. I'm awake for change. It's an odd hour for the lab. But at what point, how long do they actually wait? How long do they actually wait before they take her in? I don't know.
As what exactly happened to her. This is still a open investigation. Hoover police are continuing to investigate, but right now
I do not believe. At first I was like, "This is a mental break." I do not believe that it is a mental break.
Now they were very honest in their press conference in saying that they want to have another interview with Carlee. They want an opportunity to ask her more questions, and they have not been able to ask her more questions since they had communications with her on Saturday night when she turned up at her parents' house. We're going to go through a lot of what we just learned. I'm going to go through kind of the highlights here, but look, kudos to the Hoover Police Department. They shared a lot of their.
And that's the thing. They absolutely did. The chief of police for the Hoover PD, I thought he gave an excellent. You could tell he was obviously a little pissed off, but very in control. But he's just like, this sucks. And but wow, absolutely fascinating. Yeah, I mean, my opinion about the mental aspect of it. Was it Reese's Pieces? Those are so good, by the way. I love. This is sad because we have had real missing women in Mississippi and West Tennessee off of highways. And that's another thing I was gonna bring up. That's a great comment. Is why some of these catch fire and not. Well, I think the reason that this story caught fire the way that it did was because it didn't make any sense. Now obviously every missing person or possible abduction should get a lot of coverage, and that's just not always the case. But you're talking about a baby on the side of the road. She called it in. She drove on the freeway for what the chief of police said was 6 football fields, which is a long way. A long way. And he's not buying it.
Ongoing investigation and a lot that
I do want
to multiple pages.
I do want to listen to it
give
again.
Everybody the highlights, and then we're going to go to your comments. What people are saying out there.
I want to hear this one more time.
Very, very cognizant of our comment section. We do not shy away from your social media comments. We want to be with you there in the social media comment section and speak to what you're saying out there. So interactively, we're going to do that with #HJB.
And another, this is a great comment. And I'm with you on this. Parents need to step aside. Carlee's a full-grown woman. She can speak for herself. Yes, this is now in her lap, not the parents. I don't have a problem with the parents wanting to believe their child, but yes, she absolutely does, or the parents do need to step away. But yeah, let's listen to this one more time.
Around the scene, no one has
be put at ease.
Evidence. Thank you, Mayor. Thank everyone for being here today. Besides me stands the team who played a significant role in this investigation. I want to thank our department.
Over me says, I'm a survivor of trafficking and what is I don't know the acronym. I can't think of it. But this hurts real victims. and to involve a child. Was hoping it was mental health issues. However, she searched the movie Taken, the Amber Alert searches, all that stuff. Wow.
Members of surrounding local law enforcement agencies, the FBI, Secret Service, United States Marshals, and ALEA for their assistance in this case. We said from the evening of July 13th, our focus would be the safe return of Carlee Russell. That occurred on Saturday, July 15th, approximately 49 hours after she called 911 and disappeared.
I am a little confused about the robe thing. So she just stole that stuff from her job. Is that what it was? I mean, and then she was looking at how to steal money from a register. You know, that this is not mental health stuff. And I don't know. I just don't know about
From that point, our focus has been to determine Carlee's whereabouts during that time and what exactly took place. Let me say up front, this investigation is not over. We're still working this case, and we'll work in this case until we uncover every piece of evidence that helps us account for the 49 hours that Carlee Russell was missing. However, through the public interest, and in some cases, public fear that this story has generated, we owe it to our citizens to tell them the facts that we have uncovered. So I will give you the facts that we know today. On July 13th, at approximately 8:20 p.m., Carlee left work from a business at the Summit. Surveillance video from her place of employment shows Carlee concealed a dark-colored bathrobe, a roll of toilet paper, and other items belonging to the business prior to her departure.
So she took stuff from her job, and as I said yesterday, when they released their press release from the job itself, which was by far one of the strangest things that I've seen in a possible abduction.
She ordered food from Taziki's at the Colonnade and traveled there. She then traveled to Target on 280, where she purchased some granola bars and Cheez-Its.
Dude, the Cheez-Its, once I heard the Cheez-Its, I was just like, fork, done.
From there, she remained in the parking lot at that shopping center until 9:21 p.m. when she drove to I-459. Carlee communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel, up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. And at this time,
I know, when are people that are going to commit crimes like going to stop doing that?
We will play the 911 call in its entirety.
And like I said, again, I do want to say that I thought that this press conference was excellent. Much more detailed than I thought it would be. And he knows exactly what he's doing. The police department knows exactly what they're doing. They're squeezing her. They're putting pressure on her. Hey, this has been going on we're midweek here. You came home on Saturday. It's time to speak. What kind of Cheez-Its? That says a lot about a person. I am like really mad on a serious note. I like the I like the picante ones and the white cheddar, but just straight up Cheez-Its just down the middle, the 100-meter. I just love the straight up and down. Yeah, he looks pissed. He looks constipated. That's how mad he is. I'm not saying he's constipated. I'm saying he looks constipated. He looks pissed off. Let's hear this 911 call.
Walking by themselves. Oh, hold on. Where on 49 are you? I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Silver Neck, like to get off by the Silver Neck. Okay, so you're before that exit? Yes. Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Like towards Tuscaloosa or towards 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. Okay, and was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound? They're walking towards Tuscaloosa. Walking southbound? Or how old do they look? Like a toddler, like maybe like 3 or 4. Did you pull out her whip?
Yeah, she was keeping money in her sock. It's disgusting.
Are you still with them? Yes. Okay, are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the
I had a homeless guy one time try and pay for a bicycle He came up to the counter and he literally pulled the money. It wasn't like in the side of his sock, it was like under his sock. Like he was walking on it. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna take that. You're gonna have to go change that out or put it on a gift card or something, bro.
Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there? Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz. Is that a sedan or SUV?
Take care.
SUV. I mean, it's a sedan, sorry. Can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, they're on it.
Bye, Miss Kirby.
Okay, did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian? They're white. Okay. Is it male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. White male? Okay, so is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing? It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper. And you don't see any cars anywhere? No, no cars anywhere. Okay. All right. What's your name? My name is Carlee Russell. And you don't see any injuries on the child from where you're at, correct? No, but I can't really see them that good. Okay, try to keep an eye on them for the best you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them. Okay. All right, and do they have shoes on? No, not that I can see. I can't really see that one. Okay. All right, I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but officers are on the way, okay? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Carlee called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained, which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call and cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. Carlee's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and the Hoover Police Department did not locate any evidence of a small child walking down the interstate. Data from Carlee's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child.
It's a great
600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight, 600 yards. The Hoover 911 Center received a second call from Carlee's mother, stating that a relative was on the phone with her when they heard Carlee scream, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly. They located Carlee's wig, and cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for Tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the scene. Hoover police deployed all available assets from the point in the
Like, she's ruined her life, right? Like, her life is ruined.
search for Carlee. Additional resources were
over just something so stupid.
Called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounded local and federal agencies assisted Hoover police in the search for Carlee Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of Carlee, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by her family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could to find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Sunny receives a call from Carlee's residence stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carlee walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler.
Imagine having orange hair with a big bald spot in the back. And by the way, did anybody see the picture of those like pictures of Alex Murdaugh in his jail cell? Old cranberry nipples.
And fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claims she was then blindfolded but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock. Out of respect for Carlee and her family, detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest. Detectives continue analyzing data from Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to their disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "You have to pay for an Amber Alert," was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance,
Isn't she
the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day
You know how you take money from a register without getting caught? Don't Google it first.
of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station
You gotta take advice from old cranberry nipples.
was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were two searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time. But
I mean, it wouldn't be that. I mean, okay, so the 18-wheeler, you got an 18-wheeler, you got Bozo the Clown, orange hair, huge bald spot in the back, fed her Cheetos, and did her nails.
Not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
Okay, so and that's basically the long and short of it. He does not feel, because of this situation, there is no threat to the public. They do not feel that because of the information that she had given, that there was an abduction, and yeah, Bozo the clown played with her hair too. That's sick. After a long fight with toilet paper and Cheez-Its, we're happy to report Carlee has returned home safely. Well, like I said, leading up to this, I know. Yeah, I know people are saying, I don't know why, but I find the Jesse Smollett or whatever comparison, I just don't find it. It's much more like Sherry Panini or whatever her name is. Panini. I was dead serious. I wasn't even trying to. She never saw the other female. Oh, okay. Sherry Papini. I don't look up her. It was, yeah, trust me, it was gross. Yeah, I think a lot of the reason people do that is because she's black and he's black, and I don't get the connection. I don't even get the same vibe from the two. I think they're completely different, but I think that the Papini is right on. That's exactly what it feels like to me. And anyway.
With that, we'll open the floor for some questions. Please raise your hand and I will call on you. Carol.
Chief, do you expect any charges against Carlee Russell?
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if she does have any charges coming her way, and probably so. But I don't think that the punishments are that harsh. But anyway, all right. Well, we'll pick this up later, and appreciate you guys being here. Hit that like button on the way out. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day.
Oh my. Damn, son, where'd you find this? Oh my.